10. Thanks for joining me this morning. Now, my guest of the week, you will know her as being one of the main vocalists in, I'm going to say it, one of the biggest girl bands ever. She's now on a UK tour, smashing it in the hit show, The Bodyguard. Here to tell me all about it, please welcome to the show. It's my favourite Pussycat doll. It's Melody Thornton. Good morning.
Good morning.
For people listening at home, we've been talking off air. Melody has done so much. She's also a part of one of my favourite shows. Not only a part of it, the winner, which we're going to get to in a bit. The Masked Singer, which we love. I've got so many questions I want to ask you. Some of them you probably can't even answer because it's all secret and stuff like that. But I like to know how it works behind the scenes and stuff. You've been there and lived all that. You know what I mean? So it's one of those. How was it? We'll just get into it now. Talk to me about the Masked Singer. Obviously Australia for people listening at home, but I'm guessing you may crop up on the UK one now, after this. Who knows? That's the beauty of the show. It's a secret, so we won't know, will we?
It's a secret. It's a secret. It was my favorite job I've ever done.
Right. I can see really, why. Yeah.
It was just perfect to sing and not be seen and not be judged for the faces that you're making. You're just focusing on. Now, I'll say I developed some bad habits that I broke when I was younger. And then I started doing them again because when you're a kid and you're not performing, you're just singing in your shower and you're just singing. So then you'll tilt your head back, or you will, you're not supposed to tip your chin upward. You're supposed to kind of keep your head straight and your shoulders back. And I had this mask on, so I was like, nobody's going to see it.
Well, you can do whatever you want, really. And I'm guessing, silly question. Yes. Obviously, for people listening at home, if you haven't seen, there is clips online and stuff. And I'm going to point people to I'm going to say iconic performance of Xanadu by Olivia Newton-John, which I love. Favourite song of mine, I said to you before we came on air. You were Mirrorball. Talk to me about that. How does it all work? From getting the call to deciding you're doing it to also maybe doing it in Australia? How does that work?
Well, there was an interest. So, I did want to do it. I mean, it was neat to think listen, this sounds so bad that that male performers get to kind of just rock up, and you get to sleep as long as you need to, unless you have children. But hair and makeup is not a part of their concern, right? Yeah. I mean, a little bit.
I don't know, a little bit. I've been a while in a makeup and hair room. You've probably guessed that.
Sure.
Very particular, but
I get you. It depends. It depends what your deal is. Some people, everyone wears whatever they wear, right? But I guess historically in entertainment, it's not been acceptable historically. We're in a different day. But historically, it's not been acceptable for a female entertainer to show up and be like, no, I'm not going to do my hair and makeup. So that was probably my favorite part.
Right. Get all the glitz and the glamour of it. Yeah.
It would just be so great if I could just go to work and sing, because that's the point. But people want to judge my face and my hair and what I'm wearing. So I have to, and look, I'm not saying I don't love those things, but it's part of the reason why I loved, that job was just you kind of just show up. I didn't comb my hair. I didn't comb my hair.
Well, until you're revealed, it doesn't really matter. I guess that's what you're saying, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Until you're revealed. Yeah. It doesn't. And is it the same with obviously the show over here in the UK? This is one of the most tight-nipped secrets ever. So are you wearing the mask and the hoodie, do not speak to me still? Is it the same process over in Australia?
I think you're just trying not to be seen as much as possible, you know? My experience was different because if I was seen in the street, it would have been like, what are you doing here?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely, right? Yeah, of course, yeah.
So, and the same, it would be the
tricky,
same. It would be the same if I was in the UK. Even though I work here quite a bit, there might be someone going, oh, I just saw so-and-so, what's she doing here? Those are the things that kind of that would make the difference. I don't want to give away too much because the show works. No, it works so well.
Oh, it does. I love it.
Effort. The effort that goes into it. And it really is fun. I mean, it was fun. Everyone was lovely. It was just awesome. It was just an awesome experience.
I love it. Why Mirrorball? Do you have a say in the costume department and stuff like this? Obviously, you need to be comfy and be able to sing and perform to the best of your ability. Do you have a say in costume-wise, Melody?
I think they kind of created Mirrorball around the things that I like,
right?
Which is like music from the 60s and the 70s.
Got you, yeah.
So I just kind of became a whole disco ball, which I absolutely loved.
I love that.
Costume was beautiful,
stunning.
I love that costume.
Yeah. And do you have a say in the song department? Then we mentioned obviously you singing Xanadu. Do you, as you're a musician yourself, you know what I mean? Do you rock up and say these are my favorite songs, or this is my back catalogue of songs that I like to sing, or do they choose the songs for you?
Some things were selected, and some things they said, you know, what would you like? It's a really nice experience. There's no one holding you back. It's like, you know, if you, however far you want to go, or if you want to, like, they just were so collaborative.
Yeah,
it was
I can imagine. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
hence why you enjoyed it so much. You know what I mean? As well,
I loved it.
I've got a feeling as well. You're going to pop up on the UK one soon, because we've done it. We've recently had it. Amber Riley won the US one, and then she's just done the UK one. So it works. You know what I mean? If you're clever and you're a fabulous vocalist, so I'm guessing you can hide your voice. You know what I mean? When you're a great singer like you are, you've got all the tips and tricks to maybe disguise a little bit better than, say, me, Melody, if I was on it and I was just there maybe doing it as karaoke in a costume.
I think, I didn't focus on hiding my voice.
Right.
That's the thing. I mean, I think a good vocalist can dig into different, like, to resonate in different ways, or resonance in different ways. But I didn't disguise my voice. I guess if I was interested in the UK one, I probably would have.
Yeah. And I guess it's again, second time round, it makes it a bit more fun. You know what I mean? If you're putting an act on with your voice or an accent.
Because then you're really cheeky, aren't you?
Absolutely. And I get that from you. You're a cheeky person. I get that from you. I know. So I think it paid off because you won. Winner. So we love all of that as well. And I'm just chuffed that you enjoyed it as much as you say you did as well.
I love Amber Riley, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
Love her.
Fabulous. Look who is still with me. It's only my favourite Pussycat doll, Melody Thornton. Welcome back.
Thank you. Oh, hello.
How are you with early mornings, Melody? Because I know, obviously, in theatre and stuff, you've done a lot, but in theatre, they say like working nights, don't they, over here? So it's like an evening job. But are you a get up and go person in the morning, or do you like your sleep of the morning, you know, rest in the voice and all that?
Well, I really have to kind of do what's best for my voice. You kind of said it before I could get to it. Yeah, but I am a morning person, and so I find myself still getting up early. But it is a late night job. You know, you get home pretty late. So yeah,
tiring stuff.
It's tiring, but I just try and do what's best. You know, if I have to sleep in, I'll sleep in. A good 9 hours for the voice is always I definitely can feel the difference.
Yeah, fab. Well, thanks for joining me this early of a morning. I appreciate that, because I'm guessing you probably, with it being Saturday, you'll have 2 shows later today as well. So thanks for joining me and taking time to wake up with me on breakfast, you know? Yeah,
absolutely. Yes. Thank you for having me.
Starring in The Bodyguard as Rachel. It's not the first time you've done this, is it? I'm reading, because you did the whole China tour. So what made you want to go back to this? I'm going to say it again, iconic role. Yeah. I love this musical. I mean, it's just good. Like, I was going to curse right now. I was going to say it's just effing good. It is. It really is. Yeah, I feel blessed to do it again. I absolutely loved the show. Doing it in China, there were obviously different challenges because it was a different market. And of course,
but I this particular cast is so talented. I'm not just saying that because I'm on the show. Like I really feel like we have this magical effect on the audience.
Yeah.
I really
well, it is. It's everything. It's you just have to look at the iconic film, you know, Whitney Houston alone, the music, and then the stage adaptation. You know what I mean? They've done a cracking. If you haven't seen it, you're going to get to where you can see it soon, because it's obviously you're touring nationwide, but you are coming to Wolverhampton Grand very shortly. So we'll get into that a little bit later with tickets and stuff for people listening at home. But I would urge you to see this, even if you haven't even seen the movie. You can rock up, enjoy the music of Whitney, and enjoy this fabulous stage production. You know what I mean? Aside from having not been a fan or having seen the movie, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I thank you for saying that. I don't want to toot our own horn.
That's what I'm here for. You know what I mean? I've seen this show before. I know how fabulous you are. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing a favourite show of mine and seeing you again, you know what I mean, doing what you do on stage, you know, so I'm looking forward to it.
We have a synergy, I think, as the cast. I mean, Emily May Walker and Aidan Callahan are phenomenal. And I have a really, really great just energy and relationship with them on stage. And I just think it's special. There's just something going on. It's hard to explain.
It's not, well, it's like The Masked Singer. You enjoyed that when you work with a really nice cast, and I meet a lot of people, you know what I mean, through work. When you meet nice people that you just click and gel with, it almost makes it not like a job. You know what I mean? You're just hanging out and having fun and doing what you want to do, or what you, certainly in your case, what you've done for the most part of your life.
Yes, absolutely. And it is a really lovely cast of people, very super talented. It just makes life easy. Obviously this is not an easy role, but it's I'm not just saying that. I just think that people really need to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just quickly, for people who haven't seen the movie and are thinking to come along to this, you play Rachel. Just in a nutshell, quickly for me, Melody. Where do you fit in without giving too much away? You know, as a little taster for people.
Rachel Marin is a pop singer and an actress, and she is very motivated. She's a single mother, and just really driven in her career and protecting her child, raising her child. And she's super occupied and you know, she's a workaholic. This bodyguard shows up and she doesn't know what he's doing there. They bump heads and you know, she just doesn't get it. There's a lot of suspense and obviously there's a reason why he needs to guard her body.
Yeah.
Which
of course,
people, you know, when you go to see the musical, you'll find out exactly what, you know, what it is that she's in danger and her child is in danger. But it's suspenseful. It's a love story. It's a little tragic as well.
Yeah, of course. There's highs and lows, isn't it? It's dramatic. We've got music in there. I'm going to say as well, props as well to the dancing and the choreography, because it slaps, the choreography, doesn't it? It's up there, like high energy, fabulous stuff. Like we said, we mentioned all the iconic songs that we know and love in there, along with this dramatic, like you said, sometimes, you know, dark side of this tale.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it is. It's got a bit of everything. It really, really does. So, as I say, I love the show. I absolutely love the show. I did it before in China. I'm doing it again. And, it's just one of those, like, it really can't be touched. The storyline, the you know, nostalgia of Whitney's music. But I do think that there's a synergy with this cast. So,
I love it as well. Can you relate? We mentioned at the top there, being part of one of the biggest girl bands ever, and my favourites, shall I say, and you personally, one of my favourites as well, the Sass. Can you relate to that, maybe this hysteria and maybe having bodyguards, you know, with being part of a band like this, you know, like, I'm guessing life was mad being a Pussycat doll is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I'm glad that, you know, social media and technology wasn't as big.
A lot of people say that, don't they? Yeah,
because I think I would have just been scared out of my mind, honestly. The links that you go to protect artists, and then it's so much harder to protect people with the access that everyone kind of has, you know,
especially for girls as well. I'll just jump in as well. I think girls and females have a bit of a harder time in this industry, you know what I mean, with looks, people comparing their looks, and certainly in a girl band getting compared all the time, you know, when there's a lot of you.
Yeah, you have to really I mean, that aside, just being conscious what you post and where you are and what clues you're giving away. And it's so sad to have to live like that because you want to just be free. You just want to be a free bird. But also, I think protecting your mind is one of the bigger issues. And I can relate to Rachel Marin in that way, that you kind of would rather live in ignorance. Ignorance is bliss. You know,
it's mega, isn't it? You can't, I'm guessing, well, even now I'm guessing at one point in the Pussycat Dolls, you probably couldn't do normal things, walk down the street, you know what I mean? It's at the height of it all because it was bonkers, I'm guessing, you know?
I think you always had to be careful, but I didn't really experience that. I mean, sometimes there were a couple of times I had to duck into a restaurant and wait for security to come and get me. But I kind of, as I say, you know, I wasn't as paranoid because I think Twitter kind of really picked up when the group was coming to an end there, but it just wasn't as bad, you know?
Well, we've got mutual friends, as we talked about before this. You're a smart cookie, I get that from you, and you're professional till the end, you know what I mean? So I think that's probably why it's lasted this long, and you've done so much work, you know, away from the band.
Thank you.
You know, I get that from you.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, man. You're very welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I do. I try and just stay focused, and as long as I'm singing, I'm headed in the right direction. This is how I treat it, and acting it's not new. It's something that's taken longer to kind of be seen or given you know, the opportunity to be trusted as well.
Of course. Of course.
People have their preconceived notions, and then I've studied, and I do like to work. So, and I like it to be good work. So I've done that background and all of the studying. And so it's lucky. I feel blessed. Definitely.
I love that.
I do keep at it. Yeah.
You're professional to the end, I think. This is what I get from you, you know what I mean? Whether it's whatever you're doing as well. We got to say just quickly there, you're on the UK tour of Bodyguard. It's coming to the Wolverhampton Grand from the 9th of May. grandtheatre.co.uk for your tickets for people listening at home this morning as well. Get along. We mentioned social media there. I'm seeing you soon, Melody, and I'm going to pop and say hello and stuff. Can we have a bit of a dance lesson from you to me? I need some Pussycat Doll iconic choreography lesson with you, a private one-to-one. What we saying?
I mean, I'm probably the worst one to ask. I didn't have any dance training, but I mean, but maybe I am the best person to ask because I didn't have any dance training and I figured it out, you know, so I do actually, you know what, let me take that whole statement back. I'm not bad. And yes.
She's my favourite Pussycat doll. I need a dance class with her. We might film it. We might put some pictures on social media, having fun, and me being a Pussycat doll. Why not? It's
let's do it.
Every gay boy's dream. We've got to seize these opportunities.
Let's do it.
I love it. Before we let you go, I know we're all joking and stuff here. We're going to delve into it very carefully because I know it hit the press recently about theatre etiquette. Are we okay talking about that? And stuff made the news in Manchester, which I got to say, and this is me speaking here for people listening at home, I stand with everyone. You go to the theatre, you be quiet and you enjoy the people on the stage because as silly as it sounds, they're human beings and we can actually hear you, you know, whether it's coughing, rustling, whatever, you know what I mean? It's not TV. Obviously, it made quite a lot of press recently in Manchester with audiences, which you could say with all these things, it's kind of the jukebox musical feel. You know, we've got iconic songs in there. It's the same with maybe Mamma Mia. I've had guests on the show that were in the Share Show and they've had issues as well. You know what I mean? When you've got all of these songs, certainly in a matinee or even in an evening performance, you know, if maybe people have been out for dinner and dare I say had a few glasses of wine, you know, they're enjoying it, but there's certain levels, isn't there, Melody, to enjoy it?
Well, The majority of audiences that we've had at the Bodyguard have been respectful, and and that's, I mean, that's really all we ask, is that you be respectful of your of other patrons, of other audience members, because everyone's paid the same.
Yeah,
you know,
of course, yeah,
paid the same, and they want to have an experience. We want you to enjoy yourselves. Don't feel like you can't laugh, you know?
Yeah, of course,
Please enjoy yourself. And there is an opportunity to join in the end, particularly in our musical.
Of course, yeah. But, there's levels, isn't there? You know, when you
there are moments in the show that you don't, you know, it's not appropriate, and it just makes it challenging for everyone. And for some people, I mean, think about the kids. You know, think about someone who's seeing a musical for the first time and is really blown away, and you're an adult. You know?
Yeah, well, it is. I got it. I'll echo that as well. It's just knowing, it's the respect, isn't it? And I'll say it on my part. You know what I mean? It's the respect with anything. You know, you're going to watch. Let alone, obviously, it's live. You know what I mean? You stood there yourself, Melody. I'm guessing you're waiting on cues from the band and things like that for key changes and pitching and stuff. Certainly, when you're singing the songs of Whitney Houston, which I'm guessing are probably not easy.
No, not easy.
Yeah. But you're smashing it and you're doing it well. I just thought I'd ask, because it's been a topic. And sometimes I think, and you probably agree with me, Melody, sometimes I think, why are we even discussing this? Because it should be, you go to the theatre, and it's escapism, isn't it? You sit in silence. Obviously you applaud and you laugh, like you said, at the correct times, but we shouldn't be joining in. This is what I'm saying. If you want to do that as well, there's plenty of fabulous gay bars where you can go along and sing Whitney Houston on karaoke.
Yeah, always keep in mind that in the audience, people might want to hear the character sing the song. Yes. And not you.
Well, certainly when I'm coming to see a Melody. You know what I mean? I'm coming to hear you smashing it live on stage. So, and it is a personal thing for me, and I'll say this again, I've done stage and stuff before, we can hear you. So if you're sat in the audience, I don't know how you feel with this when you go and watch shows, if people are being too loud, it just makes it a bit uncomfortable. And like you said, you can't really enjoy it, whether it's your first time or you've seen the show 25 times, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's common sense, isn't it?
Of course. Yeah. I thought we'd ask, you know, it's a little bit tricky, isn't it? But you're smashing it. And like I said, ultimate pro, you know what I mean? And I'm guessing it's happened once. I'm guessing it probably will never happen again. You know what I mean? People have had a stern warning, whether it be in a national press or whatever, you know what I mean? Or theatre. And they do probably say at the beginning of the show as well, you know, levels of enjoyment as well. You can enjoy it afterwards. And like you said, there is a point at the end of the show to get up and sing and dance and clap along with you guys, I'm guessing, in a kind of finale type thing.
Yeah. And that's really one of my favorite parts.
Is it? Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think everyone enjoys, not everyone, that's not true, but people enjoy togetherness, and it's just like coming together as a family, you know? If someone's just not, they're just not, you know, it ruins it for everyone.
Yeah, of course. Well, I'll be there, and I'll be up on my feet for that bit only, dancing, cheering you on, you know what I mean, in this fabulous show.
Thank you so much.
The Bodyguard. Melody, it's been amazing speaking to you today. I've absolutely loved it. Yay. Absolutely loved it.
I really enjoyed you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I can't wait for my little dance lesson with you in Wolverhampton.
Yes. Okay. It's a deal.
Ideally, what am I wearing? What's the sensible? Do I need a sensible trainer, Melody? A sensible shoe? Do I need a costume, a rehearsal costume? What are we saying before we let you go?
I say whatever makes you feel comfortable, whatever brings out, you know, the glitter inside you.
I love that. On that note, in the meantime, you can say gorgeous girlie with me this morning in the Bodyguard from the 9th of May at the Wolverhampton grandtheatre.co.uk for all your tickets. Melody, thanks for joining me for breakfast, and I will see you very, very shortly indeed.
Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.